All right, guys. Did you load on that thing for me? All right, guys. I'm not well attire, but I want to speak to the nation of St. Lucia. I know for a fact, I want to say good morning. I know for a fact that there is a lot of St. Lucians that a woman, by the way, if you come on my live and you write anything that is displeasing to me, then I will block you. But some of you St. Lucians need to come out of the spirit of ignorance. Let me see. The spirit of ignorance lies in a number of St. Lucian people. It's a spirit of, though we have many educated people in St. Lucia, the fact is that the spirit of retardation and ignorance is in a lot of you. Years ago, Maria, you went down with me, right? This was my first trip as a prophet. You went down with me, right? My first trip. Yes, you did. The second trip, when I spent more than 30-something years here and I never went back. When the Lord visited me, the Lord said to me, I want you to go to St. Lucia, and this would be your first assignment. At that time, I had no money. I had to depend on God to take me to St. Lucia. At that time, flights were frequent. You can get a flight to go one day and come back the same. You remember that? You went with me. So you are one of the people that can vouch that I ministered to the St. Lucian people 37 years before I lived 30-something years in Barbados and never came to St. Lucia until the Lord sent me back as a prophet. And you remember I went to my hometown and I preached, and then I preached for 2 hours in Castries. You were with me with the bullhorn. When I minister what the Lord said to me concerning the nation, I have not only been ministering to St. Lucia now. The Lord said to me, I went to the Voice newspaper. You went with me? When there was a reporter by the name of Maria Fontanelle, where the Lord said to me that a very huge earthquake is going to hit St. Lucia and the nation is going to become communist. When I gave the report, actually the reporter laughed at me. The reporter told me how God can tell you. Now, to show that the Lord sent me, after I left St. Lucia, there was a mighty shake in the nation, and the reporter called me, which today I'm looking at this same girl, Maria Fontanelle. Maria, she looks gay to me. She was not the same person that I met at the Voice newspaper that Saturday when I came years ago. Now, somebody said, oh, you don't believe that, what's the name? Philip J. Pierre. God did not put Philip J. Pierre there. The first Philip J. Pierre came by the midst of the devil. The midst of the devil. And his second one was the devil also, because they stole the election. Why am I coming on? I'm coming on to tell St. Lucians. Hand me that other phone. I need to see what people are writing. Why am I telling St. Lucians? There comes a time where you will not be able to use social media. And I see Philip J. Pierre talking about it. You won't be able to use Philip. You wouldn't be able to use because they are going to have surveillance to make sure that you are not able to have freedom in the nation. And it's going to happen very soon. You know why Philip J. Pierre will be able to, why he will be able to do that? 130-something people are on. Why is he going to be able to do that? It is because you are living in a country where 95% of the people of St. Lucia is illiterate. When I speak about being illiterate, means that you can be educated and still illiterate. Why? And when I say that, I don't mean, we know that there is a large amount of St. Lucians that can't read and write. But when you are illiterate, where you don't believe in the things of God, you don't believe in prophecy, you don't believe in nothing. And I know for a fact because I am born St. Lucian, that there is a lot of people that are illiterate in St. Lucia. They can't read and write. All right? Listen to what I want to say to you. I am not well attired. That's why I turned the camera. There is coming a time when you St. Lucians, God showed me that years ago, when you St. Lucians will not be able to speak in your own country. There comes a time when police, if you use your phone, police will come at your door and arrest you. It is coming a time under Philip J. Pierre where you are going to be in a place where you will go to the supermarket on Mondays, on Tuesdays, and your name, by your name, you will be able to go to the supermarket. Mark my words. Because y'all are a bunch of ignorant people. Y'all are a bunch of people that has a high level of illiteracy where you are not willing to learn. You are not willing to learn. So don't come on my live and write, you don't believe that God is allowing me to speak about Philip J. Pierre? So who's allowing me to speak about Philip J. Pierre? Because y'all have a high level of illiteracy. You are illiterate. And the fact is, you need to wake up before it gets too late. All right. Philip J. Pierre has made a deal with the U.S. and many other Caribbean nations to bring in, are these people that is going into St. Lucia, Maria, are they St. Lucians? Are they St. Lucians? Do you think America, and I don't care if they listen to me, because I know I have the world at my attention. Do you think the Prime Minister of St. Lucia can tell America, we are sending criminals to your country? Jeremy, do you think the Prime Minister of St. Lucia can tell America that we are bringing criminals to your country? Do you think the Prime Minister of Barbados can tell America that we got some criminals in Barbados and we don't know what to do with them, but we want to take them, we want to bring them up there? No, that cannot happen. That cannot happen in the history of the world. Philip J. Pierre, why did they? Now I'm gonna bring out some things there for them now, Maria. Why an election start from early, Maria, and it finished at 8 o'clock? The election finished at 8 o'clock because Philip J. Pierre knew that the other party was going to win. Now, he had already made the deal. He had already made the deal with America. Now, if he did not win or steal the election, he would have had, the Americans will be on him. Why? Because Maduro had all of them in his trade. All of them were part of his trade. That is the reason why you see young men in St. Lucia killing, drug. They're killing. Did I mention anybody's name? They're killing each other because that thing that they were sniffing through the nose was coming through the big man in every country. It was coming from the big head of states. While Maduro was doing all that he's doing, he could have influxuated the Caribbean. He could influxuate the Caribbean with his white whatever that the young men in St. Lucia, the young men in St. Vincent, and the young men, because all of them was in it, from Dominica back down, all of them were part of it. That where does the voting machine comes from, Maria? The voting machine comes from Venezuela. So they knew how to set it up that they can win. Let me share something with you. St. Lucians, you better wake up. You better wake up from your slumber, because there comes a time when if you use your phone, you will be arrested, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, whether you think, I really don't care what you think about me. I really don't care what you think about me. I don't care if you curse me. I don't care what you think about. As a matter of fact, when you come on my live, you make my Facebook thing go up higher. So come and curse. You know for a fact that the man is an embarrassment to the nation of St. Lucia. He's an embarrassment. God did not call him. Sometimes God give people what they want. God give them what they want. Do I think that Alan Chasney is without sin? No. Do I think that Alan Chasney is without sin? No. Do I think that Alan Chasney is squishy clean? No. But you wanted that man, and he's going to take you to hell with him. PJP gonna take you to hell. Y'all ain't see suffering yet. Y'all gonna see so much suffering that y'all gonna see so much suffering in that nation that y'all gonna wish y'all dead. Y'all gonna wish that y'all never was alive. The suffering that is coming to St. Lucia, y'all gonna wish that you never was alive. Okay? The suffering that is coming, y'all gonna wish that y'all never was alive, because y'all are too illiterate. Y'all are too stupid. A bunch of stupid people that would not stand up for themselves. Do you think that Donald Trump will accept? Do you think that Donald Trump will accept criminals from St. Lucia to the USA? Y'all ain't got no guts. Y'all don't have. Are these people that Donald Trump is sending back, are they St. Lucians? Are they St. Lucians? Are the people that are coming back from Dominica, are they Dominicans? They could not say no. Marie, don't think all right now they should be talking. They could not say no to the US because all of them was part of the do. All of them was part of the do with Maduro. That's why we have so much killing in those Caribbean countries. Where on earth that the young men that are being held, where would they get in? How, where the guns are coming from? Where are the cocaine coming from? Is this cocaine coming from? Now, we had they say from St. Vincent, right? Where are they coming from? Are big McGuffies littering or actually sending those things to the Caribbean? Wake up. Y'all need to wake up. Our young men in many parts of the Caribbean is dying. Wake up. Y'all need to wake up. Why is it? Listen to this. Have you ever seen that in the history of the Caribbean, where a number of Caribbean islands just bend down to Trump? I do love Trump. I like Trump. But all of y'all just bend down like that like y'all are ready to bend down that Trump could sodomize y'all. That is sodomy. You have Dominica, St. Vincent and do it yet, right? Barbados do it already. I hear Barbados do it already. Quietly. And I hear no Bajans talking. Why on earth every country, majority of the countries in the Caribbean, just bend down for the U.S. to sodomize them? You just bend down. I put your backside, I push it up to the sun for you to be sodomized by the U.S. Something wrong. Get your math. Put your math together. Mathematics. I don't understand that something is definitely wrong. Something is definitely wrong. God bless you. Log on. All the Caribbean islands from Dominica, they just put their backside in the air in the sun for them to be sodomized by the U.S. Ah? Have you ever seen that before? You just put your backside in the air and say, U.S., I gave you my backside. And from the one in St. Kitts, from the Prime Minister of St. Kitts, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, and there is more to come. Why is it young men in the Caribbean has been killing themselves? Just recently in St. Lucia last year, a girl, 3 other men got shot. Where they getting the cocaine from? You have to understand that the movements of guns, the movements of drugs that's come from the big McGuffies. The big McGuffie. So the small man is what takes, just recently in Barbados, right? Let me share something with you. A lot of things happen but here too. You remember the Goddard's case? All of a sudden the police, Goddard's Enterprise, they hold all of them. Now this is something that was in the newspaper, right? All of a sudden you never heard nothing about that. And when I ask about that case, they say that the black man is who take the fall. Y'all better wake up. St. Lucia, the time is coming where when you will not be able to talk in your country. Stupid, a bunch of stupid people that think you need to wake up. But y'all were not like that. I remember a time when John Compton, St. Lucians could not get their bananas sell. Correct me if and the farmers, John Compton had to get a helicopter to come out from where he was. Y'all were not like that. How can y'all just accept things like that? Criminals to come in your country, raping your daughters, and y'all just accept that? Y'all better wake up. By the way, they make sure that they gave y'all the moo pills. The moo pills first, and that was the juice in your hand. So y'all can't talk. I gone.